Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We are here for some more racing action back in B class, and today we are driving one of my favourite Japanese cars of all time, the Nissan GTR LM or Le Mans edition, made in 1995. Bold pink livery we have here. It gives me really fond memories of driving this car in Gran Turismo 1 on the PlayStation.
Ese pendejo, güey.
Never mind that guy in the lobby using up his microphone. Trying to navigate through quite a bit of traffic here at Lime Rock. As I said, it's in B class, so I kind of like it whenever I'm a bit bored and I want to get racing, but without having to necessarily push too hard. Say that, we're trying some evasive action from the four-wheel drive car up ahead. He's got a load of sim twitching, so we're just going to give him all the time and space that he needs, and then eventually we'll work around him. But as I was saying, with B class, I just like taking it when I don't feel like I need to drive at 100%. I just want to have some easy races where there's not a lot of collisions. I say that, look, this guy with a really sketchy rejoin there, joining at a 60-degree angle. With a sub on the inside, we managed to outbrake it, carrying more speed around the outside. Alfa Romeo, sorry, that wasn't the sub. And then we make it around the outside there of a Mitsubishi. So, looking pretty good so far. Started pretty much in last place, and we've already worked up to second. A little bit of oversteer here. So what is it about this car? Not one I ever driven much in Forza 6. And the same goes for Forza 7. I knew it was a somewhat good grip car. Oh no, it's a good grip car in A class. You know, like 6.3 handling, something like that. But I hated the way that it drove, so I never done it. But I thought, well, if it can be strong, somewhat strong in A class, how about we just give it lots of grip, but just work on a little less power and make it more stable in B class. And this is the result. So a car that pretty easy job of out handling others. You can sneak up on the inside. Alpha SZ hits the grass there, so back into first place we go. Gonna give space on the inside in case the SZ is there, just as we thought. Being B class, I'm not really in a rush to run away with a win. I enjoy just battling with the cars. The same goes for C class as well. A bit more difficult in A class and higher because where the cars are going a lot faster, people often result in a lot more crashes. We nearly absolutely kill ourselves in the tyre barrier there. We're lucky that our front corner did not connect first there. It's the side door. That's a little trick if you're ever going into the tyre barriers, guys. Always just purposely try to oversteer or even hit the handbrake just so you can slide the side of your car into the tyre barrier before the front corner. That's the best way you can avoid having a dreadful 360 spin rebounding off of them. As I'll give you the advice, completely overshoot turn 1 here at Lime Rock. So we've just cost ourselves a good second there from Warm Clown 8 in second place, the person in the Alfa Romeo SZ. That's another good car. A bit of a sleeper, I'd say, actually. Not many people drive it in hoppers, but around some tracks that are a bit more grip and momentum based, a bit like this, it is actually a superb car to drive, so highly recommend trying that. But the same can be said for this 1995 GTR LM. I think it's a wicked car. I think it's one of the best sleeper cars in B class, and very few people know about it. As long as you can control it, as we try and recover from some severe sim twitching there. Tap on the brakes just to make sure that we can eventually get some balance on the rear end of the car, but it does mean that we have lost the position and we're on lap 5 or 6. Can't believe how quickly this race has gone. So what's the type of build that we have for this Nissan? So this one with the pink livery is one that has around 6 to 6.2 handling, so really high amount of grip. A lot less acceleration, of course, but we're going to put it to use across this and the next lap. So we're in the green there. We're actually 2 tenths ahead despite having some shoddy corners going on. Can we catch up to the SZ by the end of the final lap. So swing it around here, nearly stay on the throttle the whole way around, just let off the acceleration just a tiny bit as we approach the curb. So we're 1.2 seconds now, 1.3 behind. Let's see what we can do in the first corner. The SC goes really wide. We start to get a bit of oversteer, then we have to let off just to correct it. So we initially made up a few attempts, now we've lost it again. Just try and focus, get in the rhythm. That's the thing you need with this car, you have to find a rhythm, otherwise you will find yourself just oversteering to the left and to the right all the time. So at least with a car like 6.2 handling, because even though it has more grip per se for the high speed corners, the car is still a little bit slippery, so have to be really careful. But as you can see, we are just smashing down the distance now. Final two corners, and then into the final turn. Hit the curb really nice, but get a really big bounce and it shifts us over to the grass. Can we make it across the line before them? Doesn't look like it. The SC has got the win over us in this race. So we lost out there thanks to being hit hard with a rebound off the curb. Otherwise we could have made it. But it's not the first race that we have with the SZ. Had so many more races in the lobby, and it turns out that we had a even tighter finish in the next race. So let's get straight to it. Okay, second race. We are now at Hockenheim GP circuit. Hockenheimring GP circuit. As you can see, we've changed delivery a little bit. So we're actually starting ahead of Warm Clown there, because this wasn't the race immediately after the one at Lime Rock. It was one a couple of races afterwards. Getting knocked pretty harshly coming through turn one there. It's always one that kind of bottlenecks players as they go round. So lost a few positions there. Toyota going really hard on the dive right there. Going to make easy work of him. Coming onto this long straight now. So why the blue livery? Well, what's changed? So this is actually a 5.6 handling build. Got a lot more acceleration in it. Around 350 horsepower. Which is pretty decent for an all-rounder car in B class. Superb braking as well. As you can see, we're just slashing down the distance to the silver car ahead. He decides to give a bit of a Tokyo drift around the hairpin. They've definitely got a bit more acceleration than us in this little silver, I think it's a Mercedes. But not to worry, I'm sure we're going to be able to make it up on this final sector of the track. Bit of the tighter bends where you need a lot more control. This guy goes deep. We're going to give him some space on the inside and then go for the undercut. More Tokyo drifting from him. And there we are. So that's sector 2 done off the track. Now we're on to the final one, coming into the stadium infield section. Love this little part. Sometimes it's really difficult to get right, but when you do it, it just feels so satisfying to hook up the corner every time. Always susceptible to a bit of oversteer there, out of the hairpin. And then the final two turns we had here. So we missed the curb by quite a fair bit, but we'll do a bit better on the final turn. Yep, hook it up really nicely. And you just have to balance the steering a little bit. So similar to the pink Nissan that we saw in the first race, it is a bit susceptible to oversteer, but that is the way I found it to be the fastest. You need to allow a bit of it. So we've got some positive toe on the car, and the anti-roll bars are set for the car to actually rotate and swivel a fair bit. But funny enough, even with 5.6 handling, it hooks up super well. So I've actually managed to do a faster time around Prague Full in this blue Nissan with 5.6 handling than the one with 6.2 handling. Bit crazy to believe, but sometimes in Forza there are just certain cars where you have to kind of throw the rule book out of the window and just try different builds, and that's exactly what I tried with this car. And now I found possibly my favourite car in B class is something that's barely used. Super strong car as well for lobbies. You're not really going to set world records with it, but that's not what we're here for. We just want to have a really good laugh. So, but enough of me talking about what I've built with this car. Tunes are shared by the way, so do try them out. Enough of that, let's get back to the race. So Alfa Romeo SZ, he's in front of us. We haven't been able to close down the distance a great deal since lap 1, but We're going to keep on persevering. Sometimes when you're in the race, you just have to stop looking at the car that's ahead and just focus more on the braking points, when to turn in, do you clip the apex or not. Just focus on what's immediately ahead of you, and then if it all comes together and you start hitting closer to your maximum potential in terms of pace, you might be able to close the person down. So that's what we're hoping to do here. We clip that last curve really nicely, get a bit more oversteer than what we did in lap 1 though. So, but we still slashed the time down by 1/10 so far, so let's see if we can improve that a bit more. Take 2 tenths off there, nearly 3 actually. We just took it and committed far better to the first turn here. Brake around that green patch on the left hand side, bright green patch, that's where we begin to brake. And then I like to take a very shallow line around that turn, the little hairpin. I always prefer that, get a straighter exit for this long straight. That's just my personal preference. With some cars it's better for you to actually take a wider turning angle, like you saw with the SZ, but with this car you can afford to just park it on the curb, turn and then shoot back out. So here we come into the hairpin. We've definitely closed down some space now. Question is, will we have enough of the track left to finish the job? We're only half a second behind now. Look forward to seeing how this unravels. These cars are matched up really well, as we saw around Lime Rock, but I think this blue Nissan, with that bit more acceleration, it could be a bit better suited for some of these faster bends and the short straights in between. So here we go, a little bit of track extension. Good thing we don't have Forza race regulations on, otherwise we'd be down by 5 seconds for sure. We nail that right hand turn, take it perfectly. We're still half a second down, but we still got a very tricky little technical piece of corners left. So we've got this, it's shallow S bends, but they have lots of bumps, so it's easily to get knocked off. We actually lost some time there to SZ, but he goes really wide. He messes up the braking in the final turn. We're up on the inside now. We can see who's got the power, and it is us just about, and we managed to claw it and finish merely by inches. So what a comeback that was. So we managed to redeem the GTR there against the SZ. Good pace from that guy as well. So shout out to Warm Clown 8, whoever you are. Good racer in B class. Hopefully we come against you again soon. But that is that for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed these videos. If you did, please comment below, like the video as well. It always makes a big deal if you like the videos, just so YouTube knows to spread the word and recommend our videos elsewhere. But until the next video, take care guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.